Jai Hind friends, this is Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Name one place on this planet which is not Chinese territory. When man landed on the moon, he saw one random Chinese guy doing Kung Fu and he said the moon. But did America ever want a direct conflict with Soviet Russia? No. America does not have the appetite for a conflict. Jai Hind friends, this is Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now, very recently China had tried this stunt of renaming certain valleys, certain mountains, certain towns, certain villages in the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh. Now, India didn't take very kindly to it and India told China, back off, and whatever you're saying is a work of fiction, we totally reject it. Now, China, not to be outdone, did what China does best. China claimed the entire Arunachal Pradesh. And now this they've been claiming for a very long time. Anybody goes to Arunachal Pradesh, they have a problem. Any senior person, any cabinet minister goes, there is an objection from China that this is Chinese territory. Everything is Chinese territory in this world. Name one place on this planet which is not Chinese territory. When man landed on the moon, he saw one random Chinese guy doing Kung Fu and he said the moon is Chinese territory. Now what? Okay. So anyway, America stepped in and America said, no, we believe Arunachal Pradesh is Indian territory. Now, I want to tell the Americans, and this is not that I'm against America. I have all the respect for American uniformed forces. I have a lot of respect for their Air Force, their Marines, their Army, their Navy. I mean, they're a fantastic bunch of guys. But I don't trust American politicians, and I will tell you why. American politicians have never gone to war with somebody of equal size or equal ferocity. They're happy bombing wedding parties in Afghanistan. They're happy killing civilians in Iraq. They're happy laying waste the entire Middle East. But tell the Americans to take on China, take on Russia. America will never do that. India has taken on China. India has taken on China in 1962. We have taken on China in 1967. And we have been taken on China for the past 3-4 years. Ever since Doklam happened, Galwan happened, other places also, we are eyeball to eyeball with the Chinese all across this 3,500 kilometer line of actual control. What has America done? Ever since the Second World War, it came to an end in 1945. In 1945, the Second World War was over, thankfully, and after that, we haven't had a world war. Even at that point in time, though the USSR and America were on the same side, fighting against Nazi Germany, fighting against Imperial Japan, but they were at loggerheads. And immediately after the World War was over, the Cold War started. And the Cold War, lasted for the longest of times. But did America ever want a direct conflict with Soviet Russia? No. America does not have the appetite for a conflict with Russia. Russia knows that, which is why Russia keeps on attacking Ukraine. Keeps on attacking because they know that, they'll attack Crimea, they'll attack XYZ place. Right or wrong is a different thing. I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is that America lacks the courage to take on somebody of equal size. America lacks that courage. They're happy bombing smaller countries. They're happy bombing innocent countries. Iraq was innocent. What was Iraq's fault? You bombed Iraq after 9/11. What was Iraq's fault? Iraq was not at fault. You killed those people, you made orphans out of children who were in happy families. And this is what American politicians do. Again, a very big difference. I have personally met and talked to a few Marine officers. All right, they were visiting India. They had left the US Marines and they were with a corporate. And I have met them, I've had dinner with them. Very fine, very professional, very brave and courageous. I don't think the US forces are afraid of China, afraid of Russia. And I don't think the Marines are afraid of anybody. The Marines, especially the US Marines. They can be slightly this thing at times, but I think it is the American politicians who've got it all wrong. This whole thing about, not being able to take on China. So when America says that, hey, India, we are with you and don't worry, what do you mean you're with you? Are you going to come to Galwan and fight alongside India against the Chinese? We don't want you to, but what are your stakes in the game? Are you going to do that? No. So these are inanities which America sprouts from time to time. It just spouts inanities. which have no meaning at all. Now, in another news, coming to India, IMF commends India's digital journey, says it is a lesson for other countries. So, world-class digital public infrastructure which India has made, the UPI and everything, and the other companies also. So, the working paper is titled, this is the International Monetary Fund, by the way, the IMF, which says the working paper stacking up the benefits, lessons from India's digital journey, said that India's stacks development is guided by foundational building blocks approach and focus on supporting innovation across the ecosystem. Using a digital backbone allowed India to scale its vaccine delivery quickly and overcome challenges such as large-scale internal migration. The technology underlying CoWIN has been deployed in Indonesia, Philippines, Sri Lanka and Jamaica to help facilitate their vaccination programs. This is something that Indians can be very proud of. Here, you have the UPI. You can make 100 transactions a day free of cost. Can you imagine? I can transfer money to you, you can transfer money to me, I can transfer money to XYZ, and so can you, and XYZ can transfer money to you. In America, everything costs, and it is not as efficient like it is in India. Who knew that the day would come where we would say that Indian infrastructure is far, far better than anything any Western country has got? Anything. India is the home of IT innovation, and this entire thing, this digital infrastructure that the Narendra Modi government has put in, this is phenomenal, and this is what the IMF infrastructure says. it is based on certain basics. And those basics, those foundational basics are so strong that India has been able to, put out a delivery mechanism that is flawless, that is seamless. And now there are other countries which are accepting it. Now Indians can send money to Singapore and vice versa using the UPI. Who knew? I used to travel to Singapore and I used to be carrying currency in my pocket. I used to be carrying whatever was allowed, I think 10,000 US dollars worth. Or Singapore dollar at that time was 50. So I don't know what is the cost now of the Singapore dollar, what is it trading at, because I've not been to Singapore for a very long time. Almost 5-6 years I've not been to Singapore. But we used to carry currency in our pocket and that's how we survived in Singapore. Today, UPI, just transfer. It's so seamless, and UPI is an Indian system. It's not a foreign system, it's an Indian system. So this is something that the world can learn truly from India, and this is what the IMF says now. Donald Trump, on the other hand, says US is going to hell. Now, all the Americans, I've said this time and again on various programs, the Chanakya Dialogues English, that all the Americans saying that we are looking at you, India, democracy is in danger. This is when Rahul Gandhi was disqualified by a court of law, right? India should tell the US, we are looking at you, US. You want to put an ex-president in jail? You want to put your ex-president in jail, right? And this is what is happening. And Trump is saying, no, I'm not a Trump fan, by the way. I'm not a Trump fan, but I'm not a Joe Biden fan either. And if America has to become great, I don't think Trump is the answer or Joe Biden is the answer, but you need people like Reagan, Ronald Reagan. You need tough guys who can get the job done, but not interfere in other countries. Get your infrastructure in place, get your economy back on its feet. Trump is, too much of hot wind blowing left and right. That is Donald Trump for you. But I think America needs to figure out, they want to put an ex-president in jail, all the while pointing out to the disqualification of an Indian member of parliament. Just look at the injustice of it all and look at the doublespeak of the Americans. Now, in Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque, more than 350 have been arrested because military exchange of rockets and airstrikes in flaring violence as Jewish Passover coincides with the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Armed police and riot gas stormed the mosque prayer hall before dawn with the goal of dislodging law-breaking youth and masked agitators. And this is the perfect opportunity for Hamas and the Palestinian politicians to play the victim card. Oh my God, we were there for Ramadan, we were fasting, and look at these Jewish people, they just came and they evicted us from Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is actually not true. There was stone pelting, right? There was stone pelting. There was a serious law and order problem and 350 people were arrested. That's it. You break the law, you get arrested. Many Palestinians, they want a free pass. We'll do whatever we want. We will burn Israel to the ground, but don't question us. If you question us, we are going to scream Islamophobia. And if you question us, we are going to cry and play the victim card. This is what we will do. This is the strongest weapon in the Palestinian arsenal, the victim card. And they throw the victim card at your face and you can't do anything about it. Happy hunting, IDF. I'd like to pass a message here from India to the Israeli Defense Forces. We're very, very proud of you. And you won't know how proud we are. In the army, I studied about General Moshe Dayan. And there was a paper that we had to write on General Moshe Dayan in the Indian Army. That is the kind of esteem that we hold the Israeli Defense Forces in. Just go ahead, do whatever it takes to protect the Jewish people, do whatever it takes to protect the state of Israel. God bless Israel. Good luck, IDF, and happy hunting. Okay, and Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, we covered this yesterday. Suella Braverman said that, Pakistani men are, what they're doing is they are involved in grooming gangs and they're sexual predators, etc., etc. And the Pakistani Foreign Office has warned UK of repercussions. Where did this confidence in Pakistanis come from? Pakistan has warned UK of repercussions. Oh my God. This gets funnier and funnier. Pakistan. Every rich Pakistani has a house in London. Right? The Prime Minister of Pakistan has a house in London, Shehbaz Sharif. His brother has various houses in London. Half his cabinet has houses in London. Your army chiefs have got houses in London. And then Pakistan warns UK. How can you warn your own country? You are from UK, you're not from Pakistan. Stop warning. You don't threaten your own country. And all these people who were engaged in these vicious crimes, against children, they are British Pakistanis. They're not Pakistanis. Many of them were born in Britain. So why is Pakistan objecting so much? Right? Why is Pakistan feeling bad? It's not that as if Pakistan's name has ever been taken for anything good that has happened in the world. The last good news that came out of Pakistan was the 1992 World Cup, which Pakistan won under Imran Khan. After that, I have not heard any good news coming out of Pakistan. So why are the Pakistanis feeling offended? By now, you should have got used to bad news. And, people pointing fingers at you. You should have got used to that. Okay. Now, the Dasu Dam fire rips through Chinese camps at Dasu. Now, here is a problem. This was the same Dasu Dam in which 10 or 12 Chinese engineers were killed last year. I hope you remember. There was this attack that took place on a vehicle and the vehicle flipped and fell down, many feet in a gorge or something like that. And these engineers died and people said that there was an explosion which happened and Chinese engineers were killed. Now, at that point in time, they wanted to pass it off. The Pakistanis wanted to pass it off as something, that just happened. I think Sheikh Rashid was the interior minister and he said that there was the air condition of the van, it exploded. I've been driving cars ever since I was 18 years of age. At that point in time, we did not have an AC car, but down the line, we got an air-conditioned car in the family. I have never heard of an AC car exploding or the air conditioner of a car exploding. I don't know. At least not strong enough to flip a van and throw it several hundred meters and down in the valley in a gorge. So this was clearly Sheikh Rashid's invention. That was a terror attack, but I am saying this too is a terror attack. What has happened is that the entire residential complex and the warehousing and the offices of the Chinese who were working at the Dasu Dam project in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, that's been wiped out. That's been burnt to the ground. And they say that 4:30 in the morning, there was a short circuit. How does a short circuit happen, right? How does a short circuit happen that first wipes out the residential complex, then wipes out the warehouses, which are a few hundred meters away, at least, that is my guess, because you're not going to have the warehouses on top of the residential complex. The fire jumps to the warehouses, from where it jumps to the offices. Now, this is a clear-cut case of arson. And the Chinese must understand that the locals don't like you. They don't like you in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The Pashtuns don't like you and the Baloch don't like you there. Here you're stealing their electricity, right? And their natural resources. And there you're stealing their fish and their copper and zinc and whatever else Balochistan has. The Chinese people have come as thieves inside Pakistan. And the Pakistanis, their top leadership is already full of thieves. So those guys are selling their natural resources at a pittance, and the Chinese are buying it at absolutely no cost. And this is why the local people are objecting. This is exactly what the Baloch have against the Punjabis of Pakistan, that you're stealing our natural wealth. You're stealing our natural wealth. And this is what they have against the Chinese, because Chinese have come as just another version. The two sides of the same coin. The Chinese have come as just another version of the Pakistani Punjabis. The Chinese are also Lahori by nature. Steal other people's natural resources, steal gas from Balochistan, steal mineral wealth from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, steal electricity from, the POK, the so-called Azad Kashmir. Steal from everywhere. Because Punjab itself, Pakistani Punjab is nothing. It has zero, so it must steal from other places to survive. So this is what people don't like. And this is why they're taking action. This is my analysis. I could be wrong, but my analysis is that this is not a clear-cut case of short circuit. I think it's more likely that this is a case of arson where people have objected to Chinese presence and they have taken action against the Chinese. Thank you for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. This video comes at an end here. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.